ZvZ time, and we start on Jagannath. In the top right hand side, our yellow Zerg player from Argo Esports. It is Elazer. He looks to take down a Titan. In the bottom left, our blue Zerg is Serral. Round of 8 of this European server qualifier for the DreamHack SC2 Masters last chance event. This is best of 3. The winner of this will play either Clem or Skillis in a best of 5 qualifying match. So that is to come still. Clem and Skillis already underway in their section of the bracket. Again, we'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. I think the biggest result so far, that might be a bit of a shock, is going to be the 2-0 from Vanya over Showtime. I think that's a shock when you look at the two names next to each other, but Vanya has taken Showtime a few times this year. So it's not the most like, oh my god, how kind of result. But it is obviously still a cool one. Thermal in the lower bracket, 1-2 against Skillis as well. Elazer beat Petit Drogo 2-1 to get here too, and Raynor 2-1 over Max Pax. That is your set of updates for the moment, just to keep you all up to date with where we are at. And like I say, this is a round of 8. The next round along is qualifying round for the winner bracket, and it will be the winner of Elazer Serral versus the winner of Clem versus Skillis that we follow here on the stream. And Serral takes Overlords out off to the top right-hand side of the map. A few more Lings on the way. Ling speed starting up. A couple of drones will jump in on this extractor with the 6 Lings popping. And Serral is going to go and take these away to the upper right-hand side. So away they go. 6 Lings to be aggressive. Remember, he went for the little bit of an earlier kind of gas pool. So he has faster Ling speed as well. And with the hatchery timing that he took, this is going to be... Obviously, Elazer kind of showing up. He's going to see, hatch isn't quite done yet, but there is a hatch. What he doesn't realize is that Serral's also making a very early Bane nest, so it kind of looks like it's just like a pool first into kind of probably like, hatch gas. And in reality, Ling speed's well underway. Baneland nest is already halfway done. Serral is bringing the aggression at the start of game number 1. Yeah, this is going to be... So what you need to do right now, these Lings over here are going to be the key ones, because they are going to be the ones to morph into Banelings out of sight and out of mind from Elazer's vision, right? You can see Elazer's got no idea about this. The only thing right now is that he doesn't see a third hatchery being taken, and that might be the only thing to kind of make this a bit weird, as Serral banks up Lings. He's going to reveal these in a second. This Overlord's actually backing away. He's going to see it right now. So now Elazer knows. He starts up a Baneling nest at the front, but 4 Banes are already morphing. I mean, Elazer's going to find them morphing, but he's not going to do much about it. Full wall-off gets set up, and of course that's what Serral will have a decision to make. Is he just going to bust through this? He uses his Banes on a couple of Lings initially. Tell you what, that Bane nest is going to go down, and that's not a wall-off, and that's going to be Elazer in a ton of trouble. Remember, his own Ling speed isn't even done yet, so engaging here is going to be extremely difficult. Serral's mind game works perfectly. The strategy is hidden well, and Serral executes for a 1-0. Well, down a game. Probably didn't expect it. Was not expecting that at all. And was just caught completely unaware. Yellow Zerg player is Elazer. Up against the blue Zerg in the top left-hand side. From NC Esports, was that ever any doubt in that first game? I don't really think so. It was Serral. She's coming through looking great and just having, a well-hidden build that Elazer was not prepared for in the slight. He really wasn't prepared for it, like, at all. Like, really not at all. Hatchery on either side of the map. You'll see our Overlord making its way forward. Both players kind of moving their OVs into positions here to try and see just what is going on. Obviously, this time, both players are going to play the same build, hatch, gas, and pool. Serral is going to go for the hatchery at the front here. Oh, sorry, the hatchery at the front. The spawn and pool at the front here. The idea being, if you put a pool at the front, very difficult to spine crawler this kind of area. Which is one of the, if you want to spine crawler with like a proper kind of, back up against the wall spine so they don't take as much damage, they don't get surrounded. You got to go around here. That's not great. So it just makes dealing with like a 12 pool drone pool that much easier. Obviously, I'm talking about spines like it's just a casual. Everyone has spines in their main base, right? But You know, 12 pull drone pull is not an impossibility, especially on a map like this. You can dodge overlords that move across, and you can hide the 12 pull drone pull coming across the map, and then get some damage done. Two queens on the way up on either side of the map, as we do just have our overlord of Elazer around the left. Couple overlords around the right. Link speed coming in from both, and again just seeing a couple of queens continuing up right now. As we get a bit more of a peaceful start, maybe we'll start discussing what the likelihood is of what we see here. I think one player go mutas is fairly likely. For the moment, we get pretty much the most standard opening you can get. And it's on both sides of the map, and that's really interesting. In fact, they both just go to 3 bases. We'll see if one of them is going to mix this up. If they both end up playing standard Roach versus Roach, that's not something that really happens all that often. But so frequently, one player chooses to play like a melee upgrade, or they choose to play something a little bit different, a bit more aggressive early. Those kind of things. Let's see if we end up getting Roach on Roach here off of this setup. That'd be fun to watch, you know, a real kind of test of, well, mechanics and macro and engaging as well. I think it's actually ZvZ Roach on Roach fights are really fun because it is kind of a duel on mechanics. They both set up with the same sort of simple set of units, right? And it's just a test of, once you get there, it's really a test of who can kind of find the better fights, who can keep up the macro better, who can hit those injects, expand, and manage their economies. You know, it's, I like it. It's, it's pretty fun. And the fights are fun nowadays in Roach on Roach as well. Specifically because, obviously, you're kind of playing a world in which... there's there's Ravagers too. And so the Ravager bars kind of make all of those engagements very different, and different amounts of Ravagers can change fights in different ways. We're not going to get to see it. I've done all of this hype only for a melee upgrade to start out of Serral. So we'll not get Roach on Roach. Typically, melee upgrade from Elazer too. So they're both looking to probably go Spire. Now, that's going to be kind of funny then. They both want to go Spire with melee upgraded Lings. We've seen the Lings and the Baneling hanging out at the front, as we do have our Roach Roan coming in. Going through, and just going to see the Spire dropping down from the Elazer in the back of the natural just for now. So he's going to be on the faster Spire. Serral builds a Roach Roan in the back. Okay, I mean, that's not really necessary, right? He's going to cancel. Yeah, I mean, as the Lings try and get through, Scouting's not going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be meter on meter. Does either player have a big advantage from meter on meter? Not really. Serral takes these gases a little bit more quickly. He's actually down on gas a little bit more because he hadn't built his Spire. So Elazer was on faster gas, and because of that, maybe he's going to be a little bit ahead on the meterless count. So that's something we can look at. Serral takes a slightly faster 4th base, which will help him get back into that, though. Of course, being behind just a couple meters means that typically you're okay because your opponent has to reinforce with the meters anyway, but it might mean you have to be a bit more defensive, which can be a little bit frustrating when you're trying to take all of that map control. Ling's coming in, and a Ling at the front gets taken down. Couple Banes at the front from Serral. Not going to blow up on Merch. He is going to find the drone moving out to the side. I think Elazer wants to take the forward base. Okay, I think this is just a misplay from Elazer, because Elazer thinks he's obviously playing mutas, and by playing mutas he's going to have a lot of map control. Yes, that's correct. But I don't think Elazer realizes that he doesn't. He starts a flyer attack. He doesn't realize it's muta versus muta, which I feel like is a misplay, because now this base is not as easily taken as you might expect it to be. Okay, Serral might lose his 4th hatchery though, so the speed that he gained on that is now cancelled. You can see he's already set up extractors for this. Little Banes wander up this ramp. Lings are going to come back in. Oh, Serral's really struggling to keep this base alive right now. Okay, if you can get this base up and take these rich Vespene gases, this game will just end. But again, it's not going to be as easy as you expect, because Serral will have some of his own map control too. And he's going to get supply blocked in a moment. How many meters are there? 10 versus 7. Serral's getting a few more still on the way. Of course, that's the issue. He's not kind of fought back just yet, right? He's not picking up kills with his own mutas. Now he's starting to get there. So both players are going to end up supply blocked. Serral does just trail that little bit. That double rich Vespene base is absolutely a huge thing. I mean, Serral does go into the Carapace upgrade on the mutas, so he's going to have at least the better upgrade for mutas. Carapace just works better because of the way the glaives interact. They don't always benefit from the attack when they bounce, but they do benefit from the Carapace every time they get bounced onto. So that's why the glaive or the Carapace is better in muta versus muta. You just have the feelings counterattacking from Serral. It's what he's going to need here. A little bit of counterattacking action. Put some damage into mineral lines. Here's going to come in. Oh, it's a good start from Serral, right? He gets into there, and a couple mutas kind of came forward, so he got a first couple of shots okay. This is nice. Getting rid of drones, especially the ones on the gases, is going to be big. Denying any sort of gas income. That's 11 drones going down. Hello? What's happening over here? Mutas get on top of this Ling run by as well. This is still just drones fighting for their lives. 17, 18 workers go down on the third base, and Elazer has a disastrous moment or two where he just didn't deal with those Zerglings. Well, he is setting up the double rich Vespene gas over here, but having to catch back up in drones, that's not something Elazer was expecting to have to do right now. Mutalist count 23, 24 versus 25. A little bit more still on the way from Elazer. He still just has that lead. You can look at income and see it's kind of even at the moment. Should start to kind of go in Elazer's favor sooner rather than later, though. Oh, Serral's the one this time. I guess caught a little off guard. He does have queens to help support that little bit of extra damage output. Plus, remember the better upgrade. Does give him a little bit of extra help here. Also, Lings underneath these mutas actually really helps a lot, because then they absorb some of the mutalist bounces at times. So it can be very useful to have that. And right now, Serral is just going to go for this fight. He's going to commit to a mutalist count 15 versus 17, 14 versus 14. Elazer has lost 12 more Durons during this, and Serral is just continuing to pounce on anything he finds at the moment. We're going to be seeing the hatchery now in some trouble. More mutas showing up. Mutas from Elazer coming in as well. On the other side, Lings are going to go in. They're going to try and find a queen, but I mean, Serral's just going to pull back, get his Lings, get his queens, and his reinforcing mutas especially. And he's going to start to fight this. He wasn't quite target firing those. Some of his mutas are fighting Zerglings, which is obviously not ideal. And he had some lower health mutas, so you will lose a couple. But it's just not enough as Elazer's down in workers, down in mutas, and Serral's going to win it out. What a game by Serral. He was playing from behind. And those little deficits in muta versus muta can go such a long way. And he just finds run by, attack, everything.